Hi my friends and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to move through a really nice mixture of a restorative and yin yoga class targeting the spine. So all poses to keep the spine really nice and healthy but in a restorative way. Now you'd like to have two blocks. If you don't have them, don't worry. I will show you somewhere at the top of the video an adjustment you can do with just your mat or a blanket. Now, let's get started. So we are going to start with either your mat or the blocks. One block will become a pillow of your head, and the second block will become just like the support in between the shoulder blades. Now, the adjustment will be up there. We're going to bring the first block kind of right where the shoulder blades end, and the second block as a pillow for the head. Now this is to start with quite an intense pose, and it's a restorative version of a back bend you can take. And it might take a bit before your body gets used to centering down, growing heavy, getting used to the pressure of the blocks. And see if you can allow the breath to slow down and the body to grow heavy. Now you can stay here, or if you want to find a stretch a little bit more across the chest as well, you can extend your hands either fully out towards the side in line with the shoulders, or maybe in that 90-degree kind of cactus shape with the hands. So you start to feel this nice stretch from the chest, kind of towards the armpits, maybe in towards the upper arm. Staying for about 5 more deep breaths into the pose. And then on your next exhale, bring the hands back next towards the body, getting yourself propped up on towards the forearms, making your way all the way up into a seat. Then we're going to move the blocks or the blanket aside and making our way all the way down towards the back. Just taking a moment, rebound. Notice what sensations there are present in your body right now. Do you already feel a slight release? Or does it still feel quite the same for you as when you started the practice? It's just a first pose, so whichever sensations there are, those are totally okay and totally valid to feel and note. Alright. From here we're going to be taking the right knee in towards the chest, squeeze it in, and then from there we bring the right knee all the way over towards the left. Right hand can come into that 90-degree angle, and maybe you extend it all the way out. And then if you feel like the knee is quite high up and it's uncomfortable for you, you can always grab a block or a blanket and place it underneath the knee, just so the ground comes up to you slightly. And then again here, find your breath. You're doing great. We're about halfway through the pose. Stick with a deep belly breath. Staying for about 5 more deep breaths in the pose. On your next exhale, you can make your way back to center. Taking a moment in your rebound. Notice if you feel any difference between left and right. And then we're going to move into our same pose on the other side. So we're going to start by squeezing the left knee in towards the chest, creating length through the right leg, and then the left leg twists us all the way over towards the right. Left hand extends out. And then finding your pose on this side. If you want to bring a block underneath the knee to support, please feel free to do so. It's your practice, so adjust the poses so they work for you. Staying for about 5 more deep breaths into the pose. And then slowly making your way back to center. Good. Taking a moment, taking your rebound, extending the legs, hands can rest next towards the body. And notice how you feel. we'll be taking the knees in towards the chest and gently finding this side to side roll on the lower back, releasing any tension that might be present there just by some very gentle movement. From there you can bring yourself towards one side to find a gentle rock and roll up and down the spine to make your way into a seat. And then we're going to extend the legs out. I'm going to come into a seated forward fold. And if you want any prop support of your blocks or of a blanket, feel free to grab them, a pillow maybe. We're going to point the toes up towards the face to start with. And then we're reaching the hands up towards the sky. On the exhale, we're folding ourselves forward, and this is where a prop might come in handy really nicely. I have quite a deep forward fold, but still sometimes I like to use the prop support just so I won't go too deep too quickly. Because gravity will always try to push you further down into the pose. Good. Finding your version of your seated forward fold. And finding your breath. And if you notice you want to go down slightly deeper, take your time to do so now. And we're staying for about 5 more deep breaths into the pose. And on your next exhale, you can slowly make your way back up to center. Moving the block aside for now. You can make your way back on towards the back if you want to take your rebound there. Maybe you just find a nice, comfortable seat with an upright spine. And see if you can notice any movement, any sensations along the back of the body. Good. Then from there we'll be taking the right knee in, left leg remains extended. You can hook the left elbow around the right thigh, or maybe the upper arm comes towards the outer edge of the right thigh. We're going to inhale to lengthen and exhale to see if you can find a bit of a twist. You don't have to come too deep. We're keeping it nice and restorative in that sense. So if you just rather stay here, then that's perfectly fine, even if you know you can twist further. Slowly releasing the pose, and then we're going to move into the same pose on the other side. So we're taking the left knee in, right leg extends, right arm around the left thigh, or maybe the upper arm reaches towards the outer edge of the left thigh. Doing great. Taking 3 more deep breaths. And slowly release the pose. You can swing your legs towards one side or across at the ankles. So make your way on towards all fours, hands and knees. Very gentle cat-cow movement here. So on an inhale, we drop the belly, look up. Exhale, round the spine, look towards the knees. Inhale, dropping the belly, looking up. Exhale to round. And then one more inhale. And exhale to round. All right, we're going to make our way all the way down on towards the belly. Making a pillow of the hands and just letting the head rest for a second. Finding your breath here. Good. From here you can extend the right leg out into a 90-degree angle. A little bit of opening for the hips. Just taking a moment here. And then again, finding your breath. If you feel alright here, you might like to prop yourself up with your head on towards your hand. It's kind of resting on towards the elbow. And then you'll be here. And just letting the head soften nicely. Not gonna stay here for too long. Just allowing your body to relax. Then from there, we are going to release the head and make our way back into our twist. Now you can extend the right hand back out into that 90-degree. What I kind of like to do here, very untraditional, is just to use the hand as a little pillow for my head. But it still helps me to keep that opening in the chest. We are back in our supine twist. And note if it feels different getting into your twist via this route compared to what we did in the beginning of the class. A more traditional way to getting into the twist. And then you can stay here if this is already enough for you. Or you can see if you can bend into the left knee. And with the right hand, get a hold of the left foot. Then you can kick the foot up and towards the hand. And invite a little bit of a stretch towards the front of that left thigh in this pose. If this is not comfortable for you, you can always just stick with the regular twist that we were doing. And then we'll be staying here for about 5 more deep breaths. And then slowly releasing the hold of the foot, extending the leg back out, bringing yourself all the way back on towards the belly, and taking a moment finding your rebound here. And then we're going to move in the same few poses on the other side. So we'll be starting by extending the left leg out into the 90 degree and finding some opening in the hip. And then from here, you can make your way up on towards the right side a little bit. Prop the head up on towards the hands and relax here. Allowing yourself to kind of just lounge. And from here, you can make your way all the way on towards the back, scooching yourself towards the center of the mat. And take whichever variation of the pose works for you. from here, you can bend the back knee, maybe with the left hand you can get a hold of the right foot and find your cat pulling it still here. We're about halfway through. Take any adjustments if needed. Taking 3 more deep breaths. And slowly let go of the hold of that foot. This time we make our way towards the spine, towards the back. And we take a moment in a rebound. You can either bring the knees together, feet wide, or just come into your full shavasana if that's what works for you. And then from here, you can grab again your block, your blanket, or just the rolled up mat. And again, the adjustment will be up here. And we are going to come with the feet on towards the mat, as close towards the glutes as possible. And then we are going to lift the hips up towards the sky. And then we're going to place the block either on its lowest or on its medium level underneath the tailbone. So not exactly underneath the back, underneath the tailbone, so slightly lower. Then you can keep the knees in line with the hips, or you can bring the knees together, feet nice and wide. Supported version of a bridge pose. Stick with a deep belly breath. You're doing so great. Good. You can stay here, or if you need a little bit more into this pose, you can extend the legs out. Keeping the neck nice and long. And from here, slowly bringing the legs back to center, walking the heels in line with the hips, lifting the hips off the block, and putting it aside. Again, taking a moment in your rebound, legs can extend, or you can stay with the knees up. From here, we're going to walk the feet all the way over towards the bottom left of the mat. And then if you want, the right foot can cross over the left. And the hands reach all the way up. And then we walk the hands all the way towards the top left corner of the mat. And the left hand can grab the right wrist. See if you can keep the shoulders nice and down on towards the mat. Finding a nice stretch in the right side body. Now if you don't feel a lot in this stretch, up above in the screen I will show you a pose where you can use your prop to deepen the pose slightly. Taking about 5 more deep breaths here. And then slowly making your way back to center. Bring the hands next towards the body, taking a moment to reboot. And then we are going to move into the same pose on the other side. So walking the feet towards the bottom right corner, reaching the hands up and over towards the top right corner. And we're about halfway through the pose. If any adjustments need to be made, feel free to do so. Five more deep breaths here. And on the exhale, we'll be making our way back to center. We are going to take our knees in towards our chest, give ourselves a big hug, rolling a little side to side over the lower back. Just taking your time to massage out any kinks that still might be present. And then if you want, you can take your time, put on some socks, clothes. Maybe you put on a jacket, a sweater, anything you feel like you could use just to get nice and cozy for a final relaxation pose. Great. And then we are all propped up, cozy and ready for our relaxation. You can extend one leg out, followed by the other. Bring the hands next towards the body, allow the palms to face up. Allow your body to grow nice and heavy on the mat. Allowing the body to surrender to the earth, to the mat. Fully relaxing in your Shavasana. And then you can slowly start to deepen the breath. Allowing new energy back into the body. Maybe you roll the head gently side to side, massaging the back of the skull, finding some movement in the neck, which is a nice extension of the spine. Maybe you wiggle fingers, toes, rotate the ankles, wrists. If you want to take a full body stretch, feel free to do so. Or maybe the knees come in towards the chest. Or if there's any other stretch you feel like taking, which would feel really, really good for you right now, please feel free to do so. And then you can make your way on towards your right side. Close towards yourself, but with your heart up and open with whatever the day will bring, or whatever, if you're practicing at night, the week will bring. Just have that open heart. And then from here, slowly making your way back up into a nice, comfortable seat of your choice. Good. Bringing the hands towards heart center. Thank you so much for joining this Yin Yoga, restorative yoga class for healthy spine. I hope you benefited from this class. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the day, rest of the evening. And I hope to practice with you again very, very soon. Namaste.